Yeah, and then can we talk about like the cinematography of it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Did you see it 70mm IMAX?
I saw the one that was in the movie theater.
Okay, so people are like, oh, it's Oppenheimer. Yeah. I feel like, hi, I'm Wren.
I'm Vaashine.
And this is Operation Tomatometer.
Today we have a very special guest.
It's me, John Rossi! Yay!
Today we're reviewing Oppenheimer, which came out this summer. Oppenheimer, a biopic directed by Christopher Nolan, follows famed physicist Robert Oppenheimer, most known for his involvement in the Manhattan Project. What were your first reactions,
To
initial
Oppenheimer?
thoughts? Yeah.
Like after I watched it?
Yeah.
After.
Or during.
During? I watched it a little bit ago, so I'm having trouble remembering, but I feel like during it, I was enjoying it. I think I enjoyed like how realistic a lot of like the math was for like the physics stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that was cool, and seeing like the ingenuity of him, especially in like the earlier scenes, was like really neat to watch. And the drama of it was also cool. I really liked Oppenheimer overall. I think it was good.
I feel like there was like a lot of emotions.
Oh
like,
my god.
It was like a roller coaster. I think.
Let's talk about that for 1 sec, because I went to visit Hiroshima like a few years ago, so I was really affected by that visit. So watching this movie, I got really in my feels again, and she witnessed right next to me.
What did you see in Hiroshima?
We went to the Peace Memorial where they have like a remains of the building that the bomb was dropped on, and I was like, and there was a museum with like artifacts and stuff, and so they have a lot of imagery in the movie that like reflects all of that, because obviously I'm very glad they showed the effects on Japan, but I was like, oh my god, I started bawling, and it felt like everyone else in the theater, because we went to the early IMAX screenings. We saw IMAX 70mm, huge, like, I felt like I was the only one.
What was sad about it?
Crying. Like, just when the build up to the anxiety, with they did really well, like, increasing tension.
Oh, yeah.
For the test.
Yeah,
so
no, that was
the actual.
like the standout
So I was
scene.
like, oh my god, is it gonna? And then when we thought it was gonna drop, we were both like plugging our ears, and then it was silent.
Yeah, no, and the thing is,
And we were like,
when we were doing that, it was like dead silent, and then we were like, when we were like, oh no, it's not gonna happen, and we
then it happens.
like,
oh my
like,
god,
oh my god,
it really plays with your emotions.
Because it's like the speed of sound and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
crazy.
Exactly. I was like watching it, and I turned around, like Ren's like bawling her eyes, like, oh my god, this is like.
Oh, you were bawling your eyes out just because you were scared?
No,
because I was getting like
emotional
flashbacks to being at the actual site, and I was like, oh my god, like everyone was affected in such a terrible
So you're like
way.
an empath.
I guess. I don't even know. It like took me back there, and I was like,
Like
whoa.
as if you were there.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But
I think for me, it was the parts that like really got me is like after when it went off, like you can see him like there and like talking to people, and everyone's like really excited, but then like
Then
the people,
he's
you can
like-
see the people like burning, and like there's like you can see that really happening, and then like they didn't like not show that, they actually showed all like the horrible aspects, and that really like got me to like see like the actual consequences.
Yeah. And I think that's a big plot point too, because the whole thing is that he doesn't want to make another stronger bomb, right? Because he kind of understands how it affects the world.
Well, that's only like the second or like the last
Well,
hour of the
it all
movie.
leads up to that, though. That's why he's on trial. So.
And like for like the part where like I was talking about like how they were burning and like all that, I think like Christopher Nolan actually casted his own daughter, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
I was
like,
covering my eyes for
no,
that
exactly.
part.
And then it was like, I think it's just the way they're like really like putting everything out there to like show like how destructive it was, and how like there were actually consequences. It wasn't just like a way like create a nuclear bomb that's like helpful to people. It was also like really like impactful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then can we talk about like the cinematography of it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My god.
Yeah. Did you see it 70mm IMAX?
I saw the one that was in the movie theater.
Okay, so people are like, oh, it's Oppenheimer. Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't have chosen. It's a cool format, and like I thought it was really a different perspective on just like movies, but only the Lincoln Center movie theater in New York in total. There's like 8 in the nation. It's like so many people are watching the movie how it's not intended to be watched, and I find like why would he have done that? But I liked how it was filmed. I thought that was like.
Did you watch the uncropped version?
Yeah, we saw it in IMAX.
So what was like the aspect ratio?
It was a square.
Oh, really?
Basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Wait, that sounds
So,
really
but
neat.
then it's like very in your face, which I think we got good seats. We were like a little farther back.
Yeah.
But people have taken photos of it sitting in the front row, and it's like
it's like just like
distorted
really
and
tall and like okay.
Yeah.
And it was like I was just laughing because like also like when it was like being played,
Yeah.
it was like I think the lens or the way
Oh
they were
my
putting it was like dusty and it was
So
like
it was-
really dirty.
yeah.
So when we were seeing it, when it was like going through the lens, you can see those little pieces of dust, and then when you could see
It was
the
really
features,
distracting.
it was like
Oh.
really distracting because it was like all over, and you could see the little, it was so like
It was like little worms in the. It was funny, but
and like what about like the colors, like the
Yeah.
color or like the black and white? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's good like visual contrast. It helps you because I feel like when you first watch it, there's a lot going on.
yeah, definitely.
And then like this because there's the actual Oppenheimer story of like him going through his background while he's being interrogated, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's like it's kind of like I don't know if you've read Frankenstein, but like
Humanity's
yeah, okay, yeah. No, but like you know how like the story is like layered perspectives. Like it's like Walton's perspective,
Yeah.
Victor's perspective, of the monster's perspective.
Yeah.
It's like kind of what it reminded me of. Like there's a lot of
Interesting.
different
That's-
like layers to it because there's like the trial, which is that's like black and white, right?
Yeah,
And then there's where he's being interrogated, which that's in color, right?
I don't.
But they're kind of like
remember.
muted colors.
Yeah, I think so.
Like it's not very
remember.
colorful, but color exists in like that scene.
Yeah.
And then there's just like
The black-
the
The
regular like
past,
the
like,
past,
yeah.
yeah, like him retelling.
Yeah, I also thought we also got to see Louis Strauss's perspective a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I have
Yeah,
that.
so he thought that Einstein was setting him up or
No,
something
yeah.
like that.
When we can like see, we don't get to necessarily hear what Oppenheimer and Einstein are
Einstein
talking about
said.
in first, but I think Strauss thought that they were like talking
about
smack on him. Yeah.
him.
It was like I feel like he had this internal like
Self-centered.
very self-centered. He had this like egotistical thing, and he like thought people hated him, and then he thought that he was turning Einstein against him. But in reality, they were just talking about like the bomb and how it's gonna destroy the world and like the destructive aspect of it.
I didn't. Okay. Actually, on that because that's like at the very end of the movie, right?
Yeah, I
didn't really like that ending.
no wait. The ending, like, I think not necessarily the ending, but the way they filmed the ending. You know how they started off with like the raindrops, I think, or like, and then they ended off with that.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
a parallel, and
like
like
that.
it was I was like doing research because I was like, oh my god, like this is actually cool. It was apparently to represent the nuclear bombs. So like the water droplets weren't like water drops. It's just like to show like the amount of nuclear bombs that are destroying the world. I think.
What do you mean?
That
That
could the possibility.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I didn't
that's
catch
neat. That's
that.
like cool like symbolism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone was so like happy about it because the people that like knew like the actual like story behind it. I feel like there's a lot of things going on, so people don't like really look at the details, but after when you like pinpoint everything, you realize that there's an actual meaning behind every single thing.
Am I allowed to ask questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Like why do you think Oh, I thought someone was laughing. But why do you think Oppenheimer was made? Like what was the point of making it?
I think they did a really good job of doing this in the first place, but
I agree,
why
yeah.
they did this, I think, is because they wanted to show the true reality of these nuclear bombs. Because for us, we just know that the nuclear bomb happened, and we don't really know like deep into it. We just know it's just like we just learn about it in history and like, oh, this happened in the background
The
of it.
repercussions of it.
Yeah, but then now here, like, we have a true, like, we see it happening. It's like we're there. Not we're there, but we see everything happening. We see, like, how it feels like to be on, like, the crew and, like, seeing the bomb go off. And we see the two sides. We see the people that are really happy, like, we won, this happened. And the other side, we see how this guilt is eating up Oppenheimer. Like, he's, like, genuinely, like, he's, like, crying. He's, like, emotionally, like, so, like, unwell because of, like, the way he sees people dying, and he basically ended so many people's lives, and then some of them were innocent too, so most of them.
I want to talk about actors. Like, people are saying that, oh, Robert Downey Jr. and Cillian Murphy.
Was Robert Downey Jr. in the movie?
Yeah,
Louis
it was
Strauss.
Louis Strauss.
Oh, that makes sense.
People were like, this is Robert Downey Jr.'s
Oh.
best role. It was
Yeah.
his first role
I didn't
after
realize.
being Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people think he's going to win a supporting actor Oscar.
People said that like he wouldn't be like a good actor like after Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because
Marvel messed him up.
I think it was something along the lines of like he didn't feel like he had to act.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't
Interesting.
have to try. Like I know a lot of his lines are like ad-libbed or just done on the spot. Like I don't know if like did you watch like Far From Home?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you know like the scene where like he's like where he like goes to the door and he's like I'm not hugging you.
Yeah,
Like, that was all like ad lib.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
And here he's playing a real person.
yeah, now he has to like actually like act because he is not in fact Strauss or whatever his name is. Strauss? Strauss.
Yeah. I thought he did great.
I-
I think
yeah.
Cillian
No, I think
Murphy did amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh my! I don't think anyone else could have portrayed Oppenheimer
Cillian
as
Murphy.
much as
Oh.
Cillian Murphy did.
yeah.
Like, right? Cillian Murphy. Yeah. He like. I feel like I don't know. This is like personal, but his eye color, right? I'm like, not just about how he looks, but like when he's like staring at the camera and you could see the emotions in his eyes, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like just perfect, like, and no one
That.
else could have. And when he's just like not even talking, you can
Florence
see
there.
so much on his face, and I feel like no one would like portray that much emotion, that much fear, that much guilt, like all of that
Mm-hmm.
in a person. He just like no one else. I can't imagine anyone else in that.
He had a very neutral like expression most of the time.
He did.
Yeah.
But you could see that.
Yeah, no,
the
that's what I
pain.
mean. Like that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
exactly.
it was like a loud like
Yeah,
a loud
exactly.
like dead face.
Yeah. With that, what do you rate it?
From 1 to 100.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
I know.
I give it like an 89.
Okay, that's
Nice.
really good.
That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, so
It's like Regent's
This is-
honors diploma.
no, that's crazy. But I think I give it a solid like 75. I feel like for me that's high, especially I think even if this movie did such a great job in like portraying all of this and like showing us so much, I feel like at the same time like I was lost a little bit, like because it was the pacing, maybe it was a little, it was a 3-hour movie, and
Yeah, it was
sometimes it was just,
long.
and there was like
was,
so
like,
much going on,
kinda
and
jumping.
yeah, exactly, it was like
Yeah.
going back and forth between different things. So I don't know, I would give it a 75 just because like as someone who just like a neuro person who isn't fully like, and like the small details, like if I didn't research that I wouldn't know about
Mhm.
it. So I feel like since I'm not as educated on this, I would give this a
Yeah, I would give it an 80 just because also like I loved the cinematography, the soundtrack really added to it, the colors and the use of film, like I thought it was really nice. Thank you for watching today's episode. Stay tuned for more Tomatometer content from Operation Tomatometer, and make sure to check out our partner podcast, The 27, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
And be sure to look at The Classic and The Classic Critic on Instagram and TikTok to see behind the scenes content and bloopers. And let us know in the comments what you think about this episode. And I guess
See you next time.
Bye. Bye. Bye video.